All right, guys, good morning to you once again. Today is the 1st of August, 2025. CRAZII Market Talk with KEL. CRAZII, where logic meets profit. All right, so this will be the start of today's session. And then after that itself, right, please make sure that disclaimer apply as usual. Please make sure you do your risk management, money management. Now, later part, we're going to do a very interesting thing called review of the day chart format. Now, how to trade with the day chart. And I think that this is why I'm focusing on it. If you notice this, whenever I focus on this day chart format, it's because I see an opportunity in the gold chart. Yes, and indeed itself, right, I cannot say 100%, but majority of the time, whenever I share this formation or this format or this revision, usually we all know that the market will move according and then you'll move up lah, and or then you'll follow whatever we say here. So actually it's a very interesting thing that I want to share this with you. So yeah, I want you guys to get involved. Okay. All right, so without then let's go into the market right now. And just stop my screen again. I need to run around playing with the screen divider. Okay, where's my news to begin with? There we go. So we do the macro picture first as usual. All right, the S&P 500 posts a third straight losing day as Meta, Microsoft failed to lift the market. Now, this is something very interesting, right? Meta came out very good earnings. Microsoft also, including even Apple, right? I was wrong then. And all these good news came to the market. We're expecting the market to fly, right? But instead, the S&P posts a third straight losing trading day. So again, once I tell you for the OP rule is the most important rule in the market. Really, you can tell me all you want. But because good news should lead to upside, bad news should lead to downside. But again, if it's good news, you stay above OP. If it's bad news, you stay below OP, right? So vice versa, it will be the same too, right? Okay, it will be the same. So if the market has a bad news, but if the market stays above OP, then you just have to buy regardless because the market just want to buy. So similarly, if the market has good news, but the market want to sell, it will stay below OP and then the market will go down. So you think about this right now, whether it's good news or bad news, okay, or anticipated news or unexpected news, the market will always use the OP as the guide. Right? And then after that, we just have to follow the OP, you're done. Now, some of you may say, Kel, follow OP is such a simple thing. So there's no challenge here, there's no difficulty here. And if it's so simple, then why do you think that we should follow? Maybe this is a fake. Come on, guys. The thing is this, that's how the big boys want to play with you in terms of psychology. The more complicated they try to make it, the worse it gets. But the thing is this, sometimes the easiest way to solve a problem is to go straight to the point and emphasize on something that's consistent. Think about it for a moment. Do you agree with me? If you agree with me, I press number 1 right now. If you agree with me, press number 1, right? Okay, simple, easy, and consistent. Okay. Now the S&P 500, basically now let's take a look here itself on the article. Now we saw that the Magnificent Seven, Titan like Microsoft and Meta, respectively rose about 4 to 11%. All right, after their earnings came out. So by right, these two should be able to send the S&P higher. But apparently itself, right, the market eventually gave in, and 9 of 11 S&P sector actually turned in red. Now, United Health, which is one of the concern company, and Merck, they all led the Dow lower by 6 to 4% respectively. So this market earnings, despite the strong earnings, capex, and buyback activity, has become increasingly difficult to justify. Okay, and normally, if this sort of thing happen, I can tell you that it's because the market want to take profit already. So there's something that I want to share with you all later on about the Dow Jones. I'll come to that very, very shortly. Now, we all know that Donald Trump will exercise his tariff today. Today is the 1st of August. I don't think he has any reason to push back further. So we suspect that that will be some more upheaval later on. Now, interestingly, the US and China has decided to put their tariff until 12th of August. Hey, that's a very interesting day. For those who doesn't know that, okay, never mind. Okay, so let's see what happens. Because I told you before, right, whenever this special day comes in, right, the market will always have a very crazy movement. Thank you, Allison, for remembering it. Yes, indeed. Every time my birthday is out, right, the market will go crazy. Interesting, interesting. That's like third time in a row. Let's see whether it happens this time. Okay, now the Apple has reported their biggest revenue growth since 2021. The revenue has went up, but it doesn't mean that the profit has went up because we must understand that it's cost oncoming now for Apple. So their iPhone sale also grew fairly. That's the biggest one. But the thing is this, right? The share price did go higher, and the revenue itself also went up itself, right? But the thing is this, the profit margin itself may not be that fantastic because they incurred about $800 million in tariff costs in June quarter. Okay, now it came slightly lesser than the 900 estimated, but because they put a high estimate, that's why the market started reacting. Yeah, all right. Could and the thing is this: by September, Apple could incur what up to $1.1 billion in tariff costs. Wow. Okay, that's gonna hit the market, right? So that is why I'm saying that Apple is all right, although the share price might be the revenue is coming in, but I think the tariff will hit them quite badly. Now, Amazon gloomy earnings forecast. Obviously, Amazon will be hit because of the tariff and all those things happening right now. So now the thing is, these people are looking at whether can Apple issue right be able to spread to the remaining companies itself, which is about the same thing. Yeah. Now, Reddit basically has a share price up by 20% on the second quarter sales and guidance. And Treasury Secretary Bessen, okay, says that we have the making of a deal with China, which I totally disagree with this. But again, I will just leave it there because it's always very good of them to use words to twist around and get things done. But normally, we all know that we are not going to see that because Chinese are tough negotiator. We all know that too. So the thing is this: there's all the bing bong with them from to 125% to 145%, all this thing. So eventually, they lower down to 30 and 10. So that was how it is. Now, the US copper price has went up obviously because of the major tariff given. All right. So, but then there seemed to be an exemption given, but that doesn't really help the price. So I'll come to this copper later. And the thing is this right now, we all know that Donald Trump have rejigged this tariff ahead of the deadline, leaving 40% of duties on all transshipped goods itself, right? Countries that are not listed in the list will face an additional 10%. So it's trying to just basically bully the market into that, yeah? And this is how it's going to happen. So today, from now onwards, we're going to see the impact of the tariff. Now, gold price, we all know that it came off recently because the Federal Reserve decided that they don't need to cut the interest rate so early. So the thing is this, because of that, the dollar rebounded. And when the dollar rebounded, obviously gold fell. This is how it always been done, yeah? So one thing to note is that will the gold be sideways? It's expected to be, but I think that once the market starts to bottom out and pick what they want to buy, the whole hanging fruits, they'll still go in to buy and push it up because we all know that the US dollar will eventually come down. So it's just a matter of time. You just have to buy and hold and keep. If you have bought the wrong time, then of course you have to pay for the daily swaps or daily costs. But you buy the right time, then there'll be a lot of money to be made. Yeah. All right, so let me show you now the two things first. Let's do the copper chart first to begin with. Just give me a moment. Having a bit of limited space around my area to do this thing. So copper. Okay, let's do the copper. So you can see this is the copper price. It went up initially because of the tariff. All right, very high, and then it come back down again to back to this point itself. And now likelihood we're gonna see a rebound in the near term. All right. That is a very heavy crash back then now by 18.15% in a single day. So that was crazy though. All right, so copper is expected to recover back again after this was given the assumption back then. So that's why now the market should be whipping back to the 5 level. Yeah. Now, at the same time, let's look at the Dow Jones. It's something that you want to get a look here. Okay, so this is the Dow Jones chart. All right, you can see very clearly the Dow is coming down. And of course, if the Dow do continue to fall, there is a very high possibility that it will be going to the MA. And this MA itself, as I told you before, right, is somewhere about 42,000. 4300 area. Okay, so that is my personal target. Now the Dow is trading at 44,130. For you to drop by another 2,000 points, it's going to be a real deal of selling. But it's not that it's not possible, because if you look carefully, there were a lot of gaps here. So can you see that? There were at least 1, 2, 3 gaps over there, 3 big gaps. And the gap itself, right, should be able to warrant some selling. And of course, with the KCB, you should know that there is a very good chance the Dow can go down to 43,000 once it loses foothold and the markets have to sell. All right, so this is something that you must take note. The other thing is that if you notice on the Williams indicator, let's just bring a bit down for you. Now, once the Williams indicator hits the bottom, right, it's not necessary that there will be a bottom out. There could be a period of time it may continue to trade lower. So you can see that over here, the Williams indicator starts to go at the bottom itself, and that's where it hits the moving average, and that's where it stopped. So I suspect that later on this will happen, and then the price will start to come down. And once we reach the moving average here, and the Williams indicator is at the bottom, I think that's a very good chance to buy, because it happens again back here itself when the market was coming down. Okay, you can see that the market slammed almost 4,000 points, and then that was where it bottomed out before it rallied. So everything is all possible, as long as you see from this chart view itself that the market may take some time, the market may go down a little bit, and then the selling come in later. All right, so this is very important. Yeah, so traders, take note of that. Okay, so that is the conventional chart on the Dow Jones. Now, one thing to note now, this is the dollar. See, this is why the dollar is so strong recently. Because of the non-cutting rates itself, right? The dollar basically strengthened from the low end of 96.50 to 96.80 all the way to now 100. But at the 100 level now, we are actually near a moving average, whereby usually once the market touches this moving average, the market will sell. So which means that I'm confident that the dollar will come back down again in the next few weeks, and then this will basically pull back. And when this dollar starts to come down, that is where gold price will start to go up. All right, if you look at it right now, if I take this away, I combine this with gold. Okay, I stack over it. You can see right now, right? Okay, let me just show to you. Is that when the dollar was surging upwards, that's where gold came down. Agree? Okay. So when gold and the dollar surged up again, that's where the gold came down. All right. So got an idea? Pretty interesting, right? So the thing is this: once the dollar do pull back, I believe that gold will go up again, and this time around it could be surging all the way to 3,500 level. All right. All clear? If all clear, press number 2 right now. All right, I don't see anyone trying to translate this to Vietnamese today. Normally, you guys will do the ask for translation. Did it pop up? I don't see any pop up from my side here. So yeah. Okay, never mind. It's all right. Let's just continue. Thank you for your sharing. Okay, so let's just now stop my screen and we go into the CRAZII system. Yeah, let's go. Okay, so first of all, today's the Dow Jones opening price is at 44,143. The MLP is 44,308. The MA30 is 44,435. Okay, so from here, what do we gather? Number one, the market is currently bearish because it's below the MA30. So first thing first. Second, the market have MLP on top of you, so the market still prefer to sell. Number three, if the market breaks below OP, confirm sell. You don't need to ask me. Then the question is this, where to take profit, right? Well, profit can be given either from the KTR, so I can follow by the any KCBs. So in this case, the nearest KCB now is at 43,971. It basically missed today's low by 21, 23 points, yeah? Okay, now the question is this, now you notice that the KCB is now in blue color, right? If there is going to be an opportunity for it to be triggered later, you'll notice that this blue color will switch from blue to purple or magenta, okay? And then of course that means that the market has been triggered. Now the KSI, the KCX are still very bullish. So despite the price coming down, you notice that the tail are still very long in the rebound because the market is still trying to buy into it itself, okay? So of course, if the market can recover, the first target it will be back to the pivot one, and that is where the market should be going there. Now the thing is this: if the market goes up to 44,260, there is a possibility for it to travel all the way to 44,435. Okay, it's actually all very, very possible. Yeah. All right, now next market will be the gold market. I'll just touch base first on the gold, and then we talk about it on the revision side, so on the day chart. Yeah. So for today's gold, it's very clear. The opening price is 3290. The MLP is 3283. So as long as the market stays above MLP today, it's a buy for gold, and it's still possible to see gold all the way up. Now it's either going to be 3335 or there's a near number, which is here, which is 33. Hold on, 3326. That will be the other one, right? 3326. This is a KCB. So 3326 is the KCB. The next number, it will be the MA30. That's 3335. Okay, that is on the market side. Now, if the market goes below OP and go below pivot 2, pivot 1, then the first target you'll be going for will be 3276, and that will be very near to yesterday's low. Then, of course, if the market really rebound, wow, then that'll be very exciting. I actually was watching, hoping this will happen today or tomorrow, where the market basically breaks below the previous low, which is, let me take a look. The previous low was 3268. All right, the previous low was 3268. That's a nice number, 3268. Okay, so if it goes down, breaks it, and recover, I think this will be a good time to, expect the market to recover from down there itself. Yeah. Okay, then this is the US crude oil. You can see that US crude oil tries to go up, but there was some selling the day before. Now, one thing to note, because the KSI is still staying red in color, so that's why the upside seemingly is impeded. But remember, once the KSI goes green, oh, then that will rocket the movement of the US crude. So basically, in short, if you ask me right now, today is not the best time to buy because it's below pivot 2. Yeah, so I won't be buying. Then maybe if it do come down to a certain significant figure and you're comfortable, then of course you can consider to buy up, right? But then again, that's if you think that it's considerable good enough and you have the time to watch out for it. Yeah. All right, so that is the crude oil chart, right, in the market. Let's look into the I'll do Bitcoin later, and we look at this currency, where's the dollar yen. So dollar yen should be doing pretty well because of the dollar strength, and you can see that the dollar yen basically has been doing very well. That is the first one that you made, and then after that we know that it can be done this way, that way. All right. Now, but today it just started, so don't put the today's diamond white line into it. Yeah. Okay. So what do we do right now for today's dollar yen? Now the dollar yen is expected to trade higher. It's expected to go and touch this 2 KCB 151.04 and 151.43. So most likely the market will be going for that. And once it gets triggered, the market may be resisted at 152, but I don't think it will run. Hence, therefore, there might be a pullback again. I'm basically expecting this to come back down, to trade down to the 2 moving average that's now residing at the bottom at about 147. So where are we right now? We're at 150. To come down itself is about 300 pips. Now, that's a lot of money to make if you know how to use it properly. Yeah. Okay, guys, that will be all for this morning's session. We'll take a short break. Then we do the afternoon. We do the second session to talk about how to use the day chart format. Okay, let's take a short break right now. Thank you very much.